All right, so here is going to be part 2. You guys can see I got pieces all over the floor. So we're working on getting all of the blue off, and I'm trying to get all the black off. I did have an extra can of this, is it this? Yeah, aircraft stripper. I had just enough left. I started pulling the calipers apart. I am going to be, you can see I mailed it a little bit. It doesn't matter. I used one of these to pull everything out. You can use compressed air. I am going to be replacing and rebuilding the front caliper. Right now I'm stripping it right now, but I think what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take these down to the car wash and spray them off. The front one, I'm just gonna get this rebalanced, and then the rear one is getting a new tire. And this way I can paint the whole thing black. I did go and get plenty of paint and stuff I can tape and mask stuff off. So, there you go. I am not going to be stripping these. Going to be leaving the gold on there and just like sanding this down and painting it. Tape off the forks, get everything cleaned up as good as I can. Might actually take these down with me just to kind of get all the crud off, and that should make my life a little bit easier. But get all the crud off of that, pressure wash this, pressure wash that. Have been using a little bit of fire. And then I know guys will probably complain against it. This is my my stripper here for stripping the caliper. No, we're not messing with anything on the face. I got to get them cleaned up as well. I might take those down to the car wash too. I'm not sure yet, because the underside has been an absolute pain in the ass to clean. But these are going to go black. These are going black. Those are going teal. I fucking love this color. I don't know what it is about it. This seaside fucking, I don't know. I like it. And then I got plenty of tape and whatnot. So this thing is going to be absolutely refurbished, brand new, minus the motor. I do still plan on doing the 750 swap. Other than that, probably got to get that piece off as well. This little guy down here. Let me know what you guys think on like certain engine things that I could be painting. Because like I want a little bit of a slither of the teal, but like I want it very, very minor. Basically all black on black, like kind of the same deal with that. Once you push the hood down, you barely see it poking through. But I can see a lot of reasons why these things get clapped out, and like a lot of bikes are just like shit on the road in anything you buy. This is about $1,800 in work that I've done, or that I am doing. The forks are about $350, tires $350, plus the paint, plus the caliper rebuild, I think was like 75 bucks, something like that. Plus the fairings I had to go and get. The bulbs, those I don't really know if I'm gonna count them, but the chain and sprocket, if you guys looked at the video, the only thing holding this thing on was almost nothing, to be honest. So I got really, really lucky on that. The next one I get is going to be a basically rivet style or whatever these are, so it crushes it rather than just putting a master link clip in there. And then here's the wheel bearings and axles. There's a bearing in here. So yeah, all this fun stuff. This rotor looks all right. I'm gonna check it for straightness and trueness. If not, I have another one that is in decent shape, but she's coming apart pretty well. And then we have the key delete eventually. I'm going to get an air-fuel ratio gauge up here, so the key is going to be eliminated, and then I need to find a kit that eliminates this key as well. Guys, keep in mind, if someone's going to steal your bike, they're going to steal it whether you have a key or not, so just keep that in mind, and nobody's going to know that you can just fucking take the bike. I will have a secondary, like, hidden switch somewhere, but I do not ever plan on getting rid of this bike. The only thing that will get me to get rid of it is if I crash it. I have way too much money in this $4,000 bike since this is like the second season it's going out in the road. I spent a lot of money on this thing last year. So I've already replaced the fairings once. This is the second time I've replaced the fairings. I got a titanium header, and just all of the shit that I have spent on this. Those tires were 800 bucks almost, I think 650 bucks, something like that. Chain, sprocket, like it's just the amount of money that I have put into it. I got to figure out where I spent all this money, because I know I had it added up last year, but like now I'm at the point where it's like, damn, I got a lot of. All right, everything's loaded up. Forks, we got the caliper, because only pussies need more than one brake, and wheels, tires, and forks, and a can of brake clean just in case the water doesn't do. All right, here's where we're at. I got a lot of it off. It's definitely far from perfect. We still have some ways to go, but this is about as much as the pressure washer is going to let me get. The caliper came out pretty well. We're going to still do a little bit more cleaning when we get back. We have some gunk in there, so we'll hit that with a brush, maybe a wire wheel. And the forks came out a lot better. I basically just need the gray part. I'm going to be taking some Scotch-Brite to this, getting this cleaned off as well. It's an old inspection sticker, I'm pretty sure, which I have never gotten any of my bikes ever inspected in Pennsylvania. My bike would never pass. No rear brake, missing a front brake, and some other things. But, you know, for what it is, exhaust, it's all right. Let's get that in there and get back to the shop and start spraying this down with some brake cleaner and sand. All right, so what I've been doing is, you know, go over it with the Scotch-Brite with a clean one, wipe it down with a rag, and this can spin, so I've been spinning it by the part that I'm not painting, the taped over part. Do that, and then, you know, wipe it down, whatnot, and then I've been spraying it off with this, and then taking the heat gun to just disperse any bit of moisture that's left in this. Down, up, constantly spinning it at the same time. And this is kind of like how it's coming out. There will be some spots I'm gonna have to go over, especially down on the bottom, but it's not done yet. It's not. We're gonna definitely do a bunch of different coats. Probably gonna throw another coat on here because I do see a little bit of a thin spot, but that's, I wanna get this one fork done tonight. I forgot to tape off this one down here. So what I'm gonna do is I'll just take some acetone to that once this one's done, and then I know for the next one, do that. So I'll probably hold it up over it at some point later. I don't want to be here too long tonight. Got to go home and eat, but I was supposed to get the trans out of that. I just have like 6 converter bolts and 8 bolts to get out. So that'll probably be tomorrow or the day after's project. Parts aren't coming until Friday anyway. But this is where we're at, so I'm going to throw a couple more coats on her. And then this one I want done tonight, and then that one we'll do tomorrow. All right, so I changed my mind because I think tomorrow when I come in here, this is the second one. I did tape this one. What I want to do tomorrow is go through and sand these both back down to make sure that they have cured correctly. And if they have, we're going to throw a couple more coats on top of it. This is paint and primer. I make sure to buy both for what I'm doing, but I want this coat to stick. This is what I'm using here. I really like this stuff, this Rust-Oleum shit. So also, if you guys are going to paint your calipers, be careful doing it with these in, because last time I did this, I rebuilt them once. What ends up happening is if you paint your calipers with these in and you don't take them out to clean them, your brakes will actually lock up on you. So keep that in mind. I think I did that to this one once, and I went to leave and it's like the front tire would just lock up once you hit the brakes. So keep that in mind. Like I said, we are going to be getting the entire kit organized. I'm basically going to be dropping all of this shit off to Carnes Performance. So I want this done correctly, as best as I can. Correctly, and kind of like backyard paint job. It is what it is, but it's going to look good, and that's all that matters. It's just the forks, honestly. Like, you're really only going to see the top portion and maybe a little bit of the side. So that's kind of how I feel about it. The wheels, I will definitely be painting these tomorrow. I want to get these things cleaned up a little bit better, get the rest of the gunk off of it, but I've basically got until Friday morning to get all of this shit done. Oh, and then for these, I couldn't find it today, but I am just going to go get caliper paint rather than like using this shit. Actually, in this case, this shit, that stuff's going to burn off. I could leave them like this, but I mean, you guys can see I'd rather just cover them up, do it nicely. So heat gun, getting it going. This is just what it's like, building your own shit, doing your own stuff, not taking it to a shop to fix. Pretty much, I'm just going to take this to the shop to get rebuilt, because I don't want to fuck with any of that stuff. And then taking this to the shop to get a new tire. What I'm going to do is I'm going to drop off this chain and sprocket as well with the other one and just tell them to match it up, give me a new one, give me a better chain, whatever it is, just going to pay it and go from there. So all that stuff, I got those from Revzilla. I got this from Revzilla or Partzilla, one or the other. So they're good tires. They're decent. I'm going to get the Q5S's this time instead of just the regular Q5s. All right, real quick before I am done for the night, if you guys are going to paint shit, set that there. If you guys are going to, fuck you. If you guys are going to paint stuff like this, keep in mind I made a huge mistake stripping off the black because these being aluminum wheels, and I'm pretty sure this canister's aluminum. If it's steel, correct me if I'm wrong, but I noticed the paint sticks a lot better to the sanded down powder coat than it does the aluminum. Like if I try to paint to this aluminum, it's so hard to get it to stick. So just keep that in mind, guys, when you're doing this. I used the aircraft cleaner originally to get the black off, so it sticks a lot better to the black than it does this like just solid aluminum. So that was a mistake I made. If I had time or cared, like I would take these to go get powder coated correctly. I have a guy that does it, but it kind of takes a while. So I'm just gonna do the paint method, just paint them back to black. And honestly, I don't think I'm gonna keep these wheels forever. Send me, if you guys have any recommendations for what wheels I can run for these that aren't like $2,000, let me know. But I really want to get an aftermarket set of wheels for it. It's an 04 Gixxer, and then with the different bearings and shit. But I don't know. This is where I'm at for the night. You guys probably will not see me. Actually, you know what? I'll be back tomorrow. We'll do the calipers and shit. I'll show you guys how all that stuff turns out, and then once I get back from my trip in about a month or so, you guys will see the finished product. All right, if you guys didn't think I spent enough money on this bike so far, I just went out and spent another 50 bucks. So I went to go and buy, let me see if I can find it in here. Figures the one I want to show you is the last one I pull out. So I went and got caliper paint, right? Cool. Well, I also saw that they sell wheel paint that is good for aluminum. And I'm like, yes. I also got brushes. But I'm like, okay, cool. That's awesome. I didn't realize I could just go and buy paint that's good with aluminum. So I bought 2 of them and caliper paint. So we're gonna get these all painted up tonight. I'm gonna clean this off. And I'm gonna get more of that because I went and got actual tiny little brushes. And then this is all dry. So I'm gonna start sanding this. I thought about painting these end caps black, but then I remembered that this whole thing was just gold in general. So I'm gonna go ahead and give these a nice sanding and then repaint these one more time just to make sure everything's smooth, because down here it feels a little rough and up here it's smooth. And it's just that one spot. So I want this whole thing to be nice and smooth for them when they rebuild it on Friday. And it's perfect because I was talking to them today and they said they're about 3 weeks out on getting stuff done anyway. So that's perfect because when I drop this stuff off on Friday, I've already called them and talked to them today. They said that's about how long it is. So we're good on getting all the parts. They got my caliper rebuild. I need to count the chain links on this thing because we're going to push the axle back even further than what it was. So whatever this number happens to be, they keep I do argue a little bit. They recommend against these aluminum sprockets. Honestly, after like thousands of miles, like this is what it looks like. It's really not that bad. I like them. So I'm just going to go ahead and get to work and shut up and just show you guys. All right, we're doing all right over here. I'm going to zoom in because the camera quality sucks zoomed out. But I got one coat on each of these, and I did put a bolt in there so that we can protect that piece in there so there's nothing, going to fuck that seal up. I got the bottoms taped off, not that it's going to matter. This one's coming out damn near perfect. This one is fighting me, but I'm done. I'm just going to continue doing my coats and shit. This here is my paint booth, and that is my drying booth. So what I'm doing is taking the heat gun and just going down it twice, the whole way around twice, and then 1, 2, 1, 2, spinning it, and I'll go around that a total of like 6 spins, so about 12 up downs, and it warms the paint up pretty well. So it's not cold in here, but it's not very warm either, and there's a lot of moisture in the air, so burning off any of the debris and all that shit, this is kind of where we're at. So I'm gonna start attempting these wheels here soon and seeing how this stuff comes out. I bought this stuff like I was gonna use it. I might just end up using that shit on the truck bed and just like fucking around and start spraying the truck just for shits and giggles. But this stuff is what I'm gonna end up using on that. So the caliper shit, I think that stuff's rated to like 900 something degrees. But yeah, 900 degrees. So gonna spray these and get these perfect and set them aside. And then, yeah, I think the wheels, I'm not sure what else I kind of want to paint on this thing. I'm kind of in one of those moods. I still need to get this trans out. Yeah, I'm not sure what else I want to do. That VIN plate right there got rubbed raw. But GVWR on a motorcycle is 840 pounds. It's kind of neat that you could put that much weight on this thing. But yeah, I think when I get back, I'm going to be pulling this ignition switch, so I don't know if I'm going to be using that next. But I don't see anything else that I could really paint. Definitely not pulling the suspension, because if I pull that, like, this whole thing's going to drop. I just need to get this guy off first and then get this Vortex sprocket out. But yeah, we'll see. Eventually going to cut these off too, because like I said, never going to sell this thing. It's going to get in an accident long before I ever consider selling it. And anything on this motor, like this piece here that I cut up and modified, that's going to go on the new motor when we do eventually 750 swap this thing, because yes, the 750 swap is still in the plans. So just keep that in mind. I have not given up on that. I also did cut the bracket off, so this bolt here has no hole. Probably just going to chop that eventually. But any weight savings that I can get on this thing, I am absolutely taking advantage of. And one day when we do go to decide to rebuild this rear shock, not right now, but down the road, I will paint the spring the same color. Also on top of that, I would love an air suspension bike down the road. So I would love to do air in the back. All future stuff. The bike's definitely expensive. So next step, let's start painting these wheels. All right, I'm gonna chill for tonight. We got the final black coat on these guys here. You guys can see even that guy. I'm gonna do a little move here, because I know I didn't get down in that little spot. It's still warm, so it's okay, but let me get up in there. All right, so now we should be good. Let me pull that out of there. Yeah, there we go. All right, we got it. So these are done. They have a full 3 coats on them. And then when I was painting those, it got like a little bit of overspray on them, which wasn't a big deal. I'm fine with just one more coat. So they have 3 good coats on them. This actually is coming out pretty good. There's no runs. And then these, I don't know if we're going to be able to see it on camera. By the way, the blue that you guys see and the actual color are 2 completely different things. This is more of like a teal. Actually, if you guys go to your hardware stores and you look at what I got, this is what it is. It's like seaside. Yeah, even on the camera, this doesn't look the same. Doesn't look the same, but this is where we're at. All of this on the floor is just sweepable. This isn't actually like painted. Like you can see, I can just brush it so it goes. And then once I get all of the coats on this, I'm gonna acetone the tire, because I know I missed the spot. This tire has maybe another 1,000 miles of life in it, so I'm not super worried about it. And then I'm just gonna move this down here once it's dry. Probably do that tomorrow. I might throw one more coat on this thing for the night, go over it with the heat gun, and then tomorrow, this tire here, I am not worried about overspray at all. So I'm just gonna spray the shit out of this one. I know it's probably not the greatest on aluminum. I don't care. I've been using the fuck out of this bad boy. So that's what's been cleaning most of these parts. I got the caliper. Those I didn't touch with it, but I do think that when these are dry tomorrow, I am gonna paint the cap black. I've just decided I'm gonna do it. You can see how badly that one kind of came out. But again, it's a 20-year-old bike. I'm not worried about it. From a distance, you're not gonna see it. Unless you're really up on it, you're not gonna see it. It's definitely gonna look good on this bike though. I'm excited to see how the color combo comes out. And I hope you guys are too, because this thing, I definitely, this is my baby right here, all right? Eventually, we're gonna be replacing all the hardware with titanium, but unfortunately, that's Pretty expensive, so we're gonna do that down the road. Got enough money in her. So other than that, yeah, you guys can see the rigging that I did to get this up and held on. So, all right, next day, they're all dry. I got a couple of dirt marks on them and shit, but that can be wiped off. Not worried about that. Went through, cleaned the tubes as best I could. So those are done. Don't got to worry about them. Next step is we're gonna start, I'm gonna bring this caliper over, start messing with that. The wheel, I want to get those out of the way though, but the wheel is the next thing. It's definitely dry. The only thing is we're gonna have to worry about this guy here, so I'll probably flip it around the other way. Probably do a couple of coats, try to finish this off, then we'll pull the tape off, and then this one's good to get rebalanced. And then next step, let's see how these things turned out, because this I actually used caliper paint. I think they came out all right. Did like 3 coats. I don't know. I don't like how the bottoms are. I might have to go through and redo the bottoms more than anything. Definitely looks on the... oh yeah, no, we definitely missed some. Okay, I'm gonna start doing some tape offs, and we're gonna hit the next side of these. So we'll do that. That should be all right, though. We shouldn't have to really do anything other than... All right, so I got the rotor back on this one. Clearly, they're going to do the balancing and whatnot, and then the front axle is going to go through that, so I'm not worried. I can just take some acetone to that if that's going to be a problem. But this is pretty much how it's going to sit, and then this side's open. Unfortunately, these wheels are just ugly, all right? They're ugly as sin. They're those 3-spoke bullshit fucking things. So what I'm going to do... I've wanted to get one, but they're like $250 to $400 for the wheel covers made out of carbon fiber. I got plenty of 16 gauge steel over here. I think I'm gonna try to make a nice, like the wheel covers that go on it. It helps with aerodynamics. I know it's a little bit of weight with the 16 gauge, but if I can get one perfect with that, you know, we'll see how it works. But I'd like to at least get one on the back. I can go get new wheels that are actually already gloss black for like, I think $400 for the pair. But I was also looking at other wheels, and for some reason, aftermarket motorcycle wheels are fucking expensive. I mean, BST is like $4,500. And that's the most expensive one, and then the cheapest one I found was like $1,300 per wheel. And then with the ceramic wheel bearings, it adds another $400 for one, so it's like, it's crazy. So I'm gonna start doing that, but this is where we're left off. Got that back together, got this guy back together over here. Everything came out pretty decent. It was perfect, and then I didn't clean it before I sprayed it again, so I was dealing with that. So, but really, this is what you're gonna see on the side of the bike. I'm fine with that. You're not gonna see the inside, I'm perfectly fine with that. These, once they're rebuilt and they come back, we'll see how that goes. But yeah, I'm gonna get back to work. Just got that thing done. The fucking, the rear main is in, just waiting on the new flex plate. So I'm gonna get to work, find a piece of cardboard, and